Do you ever look around your home, overwhelmed by all the stuff, and think, okay, enough, I just want a clean slate? Then, fueled by a caffeine high, you declare war on clutter, only to find yourself drawing in piles of random objects hours later. Here's the thing, decluttering isn't just about getting rid of stuff. It's about changing the way you think about your stuff. It's about habits, emotions, and even confronting a little bit of who you are. So today, I'm sharing everything I wish I knew before I started decluttering. If you are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even a little scared of start, trust me, this video is for you. The first thing is, minimalism takes time. It's a process, not a sprint. When I first jumped into decluttering, I was so confident, I thought, well, this will be a breeze. I would just Marie Kondo my life in a week, tops. But the truth is, it was not a breeze. By day 3, my living room looks like a yard sale gone wrong. I was knee-deep in old receipts and I was emotionally exhausted. Honestly, I started questioning everything, like, why do I have 17 mismatched coffee mugs when I only ever use my favorite one? Here's the thing I didn't realize. Decluttering isn't just about tossing things into a donate pile. It's about changing how you think about your space and your stuff. Trying to rush it is like signing up for a marathon and sprinting the first mile. Sure, you might feel accomplished for a second, but by mile 2, you are done. Decluttering is more like slow international yoga than a HIIT workout. It takes patience and sometimes isn't comfortable, but the result lasts. So the beauty of taking your time is not just about letting go, it's about rediscovery. For example, I find a dusty box of art supplies I hadn't touched in years. Instead of just tossing it, I realized how much I missed painting. Now, painting is one of my favorite hobbies. It wouldn't have happened if I'd rushed the process. So here's my advice. Start small, really small. Don't even try to conquer your whole house at once. Tackle one drawer, one shelf, or just your chaotic collection of topware lids, right? Just celebrate those small wins because every little bit counts. Okay, next, let's talk about mindset shift. Like I said before, decluttering isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about what that stuff means to you. This was a huge aha moment for me. Let me tell you about my box of books. These were not books I read or even liked. They were books I kept because I thought, what if I need them someday? What if owning them makes me look smarter, right? Well, through all these seasons, I never read them. And nobody ever came over to admire my untouched bookshelf. Here's why this mindset shift is so tricky. Your things are not just things. That pair of jeans you haven't worn in 5 years, it's not just fabric, right? It's a reminder of who you thought you'd be. Maybe you imagined yourself as someone who reads intellectual novels or fits into those jeans again someday. Letting go of those items can feel like admitting defeat. And that's tough. But here's the truth. Keeping stuff doesn't make you smarter or cooler or better relationship. It just clutters your space and, honestly, your mind. Once I realized this, everything changed. Instead of asking, what if I need this? I started asking, does this serve the person I am right now? If the answer was no, it went into the donate pile. No guilt, no second guessing. Was it emotional? Well, absolutely. I had moments where I hung random objects like they were old friends. But it was also incredibly freeing. You know what I don't miss? Like those books or that idealized version of myself who was never really begin with. So, if you are feeling stuck, try this. Hold up an item and ask yourself, am I keeping this because of who I am or who I wish I was? Be honest. And if you are ready to let it go, celebrate that moment. It's progress. And hey, speaking of progress, subscribing to this channel is a great next step. We are in this decluttering journey together, so let's make it fun and supportive. The next thing I wish I knew is decluttering impacts your entire life. Well, I thought decluttering would just make my home look prettier, but I didn't expect was how it would spill into every area of my life. I stopped holding on to toxic friendships because I realized they were just as draining as clutter. I also stopped shopping mindlessly because I understood that stuff wouldn't fill emotional voids. Even my mental health improved. I mean, less clutter means less overwhelm and fewer excuses to procrastinate. Here's a funny example. After decluttering my wardrobe, I stopped overthinking outfits. Well, I used to try on 5 shirts before leaving the house. Now, with fewer options, I actually get ready faster and feel better about what I'm wearing. Who knew decluttering could save me time and boost my confidence? But it's not all rainbows. Decluttering can feel lonely at first because you're forced to confront your habits and choices. That said, the long-term benefits are worth it. You gain clarity, focus, and even a little more joy. So the next one is a love-hated relationship. The mess will get worse before it gets better. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I was just as confused as you when I first started. Picture this. You're in full decluttering mode. You've emptied every closet, pulled out every drawer, and now your house looks like a tornado hit it. You sit there surrounded by chaos thinking, what have I done? First of all, brace. This is normal. I call it the decluttering dip. It's that moment when things look worse because you're actively confronting the mess. It's like cleaning out a fridge. You have to take everything out before you can put it back in order, right? For me, this dip happened when I tackled my kitchen. Halfway through, I had spices, utensils, and mismatched mugs everywhere. I even wanted to quit so badly, but I reminded myself, mess is part of the process. So I turned on my favorite playlist, made myself a cup of tea, and tackled one pile at a time. Here's the silver lining. Once you push through the dip, it's all uphill from there. And the satisfaction of seeing a clean, organized space, totally worth it. So the next part is define your relationship with minimalism. When I first heard about minimalism, I thought it was all about living in a stark, white room with one chair and a plant. And I think I can't do that. But you know what? It's not what I think. Minimalism isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's not about owning as little as possible. It's about owning what adds value to your life. It took me a while to figure this out. I'd declutter, feel amazing, and then a month later, new clutter would creep back in. That's when I realized, well, minimalism isn't a one and done thing. It's like exercise or brushing your teeth. It only works if you keep doing it. But the good news is, it gets easier. Once you embrace the mindset, you stop seeing decluttering as a chore or start seeing it as self-care. And trust me, nothing feels better than knowing your home and your life is filled only with what truly matters. For the last part, I want to talk about how minimalism changed my relationship with myself. When I started minimalism, I thought it was just about stuff, what to keep and what to toss and what to donate. But the real change came when I stopped defining myself by my possessions. I used to cling to someday items, clothes that I didn't fit or books I never read, thinking they made me better or more prepared. Letting go of these things felt like a weight lifted, freezing me to live in the present. Well, minimalism also taught me to trust myself. I no longer hold out of fear of regret, fear of needing something later. Each item I released reminded me I already have everything I truly need with me. And most importantly, I've learned to be kinder to myself. Well, minimalism isn't about perfection. It's about living with intention. My house isn't always spotless, and that's okay. What matters is that I find peace, not just in my space, but in how I see myself. It's worth more than anything I've let go of. If I had known these things before I started living minimally, I would have embraced this lifestyle much earlier. Decluttering isn't just about tossing things. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you and making space for what truly does. Yes, it's messy, emotional, and sometimes overwhelming, but it's also one of the most rewarding things you can do for yourself. If you are ready to start, or if you've hit a roadblock, let me know in the comments. What's the one thing you find hardest to declutter? And don't forget to subscribe for more tips, encouragement, and a little humor along the way. See you next time. Bye.